Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Realist Corner, the space where we drop the act and focus on what it really takes to build a better life. I'm still your host, Benita Okon. In our premiere episode with 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝗶𝘀𝗁, we were able to dismantle the idea that education happens only in the four walls of a school. We also learned that education is a continuous process, and Silas shared a simple school routine like the morning commentary that shaped his communication skills till today. All right, so welcome, Sir Silas, for joining us in today's episode. We are glad to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Silas, we built on the fact that education is continuous and it doesn't end.
Yeah, exactly.
We also established the fact that education is the key to life success. So I want to ask you today, how does one apply the fact that they've been educated into real life, and how do they apply the knowledge they have acquired as a result of the education they have to real life?
Okay, that's a nice one. I do tell people, knowledge is power. Know when to apply it. Application of knowledge is what brings results. Having information, knowing about a particular thing, and then not being able to apply it, it amounts to nothing. So success in life is dependent on how well you can apply the information you have. So it's not just about learning, it's not about going to school, it's not just about acquiring knowledge, anyhow you want to acquire it, but how well can you apply that knowledge? And that is where I thank God they are talking about that, the application of knowledge to the real world. Success in life is solely tied to the fact that you know about something and then you are using that idea profitably to build a sustainable life for yourself. So the application of knowledge is solely built on its usability, how well a person can use it. You have this phone to be an effective operator of the phone, your mobile device. To be an effective operator of your mobile device, you must know the pros and cons that are attached to that using that device. To be able, so somebody goes to school, learn a particular course, go through maybe a 4-3-8 program, nursing, medicine, physiology, education, agri, and social science, and all that, engineering, as the case may be. Now, for you to come out and be successful at what you have gone to school to study for the numbers of years you may have studied before, for you to be successful and for you to be able to say, I'm successful in life, is how well you have been able to apply the knowledge you have gotten in that time frame, that your time, maybe 5-3 years. So success in life is solely bent on how well we can use the knowledge we have, either knowledge of even when we build it back to spirituality, you might have the knowledge on how to do that thing, but not knowing how well to apply that knowledge,
which is what the Bible calls wisdom.
Yes,
right? Wisdom is actually the proper application of what? Knowledge, being able to apply the knowledge that you've gotten. And from this, right, we've seen that things are not far-fetched from scriptures. So thank you very much, sir, for sharing that insight with us.
Thank you very
much. He talked about usability, right? And that is what I would like to call utilization. So, which is utilizing the knowledge that you've gotten from education, however you got it to real world. So, sir, I would like you to expatiate on that particular idea, because somebody right now watching us would be like, okay, I have an education, you're like, I should apply it. So I want to apply it, but how do I go about it, right? Take, for instance, I graduated as a medical doctor, right? And I want to now apply all that I have learned. So how do I apply it in a way that I become successful in life?
Okay.
So that is the question.
Okay. Now, how you apply the knowledge you get is you first of all understand where you are, the society, because where you are applying that knowledge is in your surrounding, your society. And now you have to understand, how does the society that I want to apply this my knowledge work? Because a lot of people, we live in this cliche, we don't understand where we are. We don't understand what are the dangers, what are the hazards, what are the problems that are pertinent to living in this kind of society. So first, you have to understand where you are living. Where do I want to use this knowledge? Do I want to use this knowledge in Nigeria? Do I want to use knowledge in abroad, overseas? Do I want this? So now understanding. Okay, now for me, oh yes, let's say for somebody who studied medicine and surgery, or let's medicine and surgery has a very, let's go to something like, let's go to, maybe you did accounting, banking and finance, and you did radiography, and then as a Nigerian student now coming into the real world, they're looking at application. How do I apply this? You know, when you're in school, they tell you can work anywhere. You can work anywhere. This is always very common.
That's cliche.
They always tell you can work anywhere. You can work anywhere. But you understand is sitting back and then looking at, okay, how limited. Firstly, you have to look at the limitations that comes with the course you are studying. What are the limitations? Now, if I'm studying this, where can I work? How limited is this my course? Because a lot of people will not want to accept that their course is limited. But somebody who wants to really apply, make use of what they have studied in our institution should know, okay, what are the limits? Where can I apply this? Now, looking at limitation, when you now draft out the limitation, okay, this is my course I'm studying now. What are the limitations? Okay, I can't work in so and so place. I can't work in so and so place. Getting job will be hard. This. So while you're in school now, you now look for partnership. Now, this partnership helps you. You are able to get job when you finish from school easily. Now you're partnering with people. You can go to any company you want it to. You are already partnering before even your IT. Meet these companies and tell them, I want to learn. Now you're going to them with the ideology, with the skills of learning. Maybe operational. You want to learn. You want to, and you're building a relationship. Now before you are almost running off from the high institution, you've already got experiential knowledge combined with the theoretical knowledge you were taught, because mostly.
Yeah, okay. So sorry to cut you. I'm so sorry to cut you, but this is actually a very striking point that you pointed out, and I feel like I want to reiterate it so that anybody watching this would learn, right? What you said about partnering even while you're in school. So there's a mistake that young people make, especially when they're in school. We so believe that if you go to school, you come out and get a job, but we forget that these jobs are not kept, right? The number of graduates are increasing every day. The jobs opportunities, I don't want to say they are not increasing, but they are quite limited per se. So while you're in school, you can partner with any institution or any establishment that does something relating to your course, right? That's what you're trying to say. Exactly. And learn the practical skills, because we are not going to lie to ourselves. In Nigerian education today, you only go to learn theory, right? You go into school, you learn theory, and you get a certificate for what? Theoretical knowledge that you've been able to acquire, exactly, right? So now what Silas is trying to say is, which is very interesting, is an interesting point to me, is that while you're in school, partner with an establishment that will give you hands-on skill, because the truth is, if our curriculums carried out practical, it provides avenue for us to learn practical skills, it will help. But your curriculum doesn't favor that, the system doesn't favor that, so you have to put yourself out there, all right? And that's what is going to give you an edge tomorrow in society. So thank you very much. So that's a very, very lovely one. If you would like to add more.
Okay.
I'm sorry I cut you.
Okay, let me add this. Because it's not just understanding, like I said earlier, the limitations that have come with the course you are studying, and then you also understand how it works, how the society works, like I said. So now, once you have understood the limitations that comes with the course you are studying, then you know, okay, I can't work here, You now try to map out a strategy, which is very important now. The strategy, where can I work? So now you're picking a broad picture. You have like 3-4 places now. Then what is the end goal, which is the most important, which I want to climax with? The end goal of actually going to do this particular course. What is the end goal? Are you going into it? Because now the problem we have in society is a lot of people don't understand. They don't have an end goal. They don't know the end. They don't have an end goal.
Something that you can easily call purpose.
Yes, the purpose. So this course I'm doing now, do I want to just to be well educated in, or well enlightened in this particular field that's being an academic? So you go from the ranks of professorship, doctorate to professorship, and as the case go, you start writing theses, releasing journals and all that. Or you want to actually go through this course to actually earn profitably, make money off it. So now, if you now understand the end goal, okay, I want to, do I want to be an academic or do I want to make money from this? So you now separate the line. So you won't follow somebody. So now the companies you will now, or the institutions or the parastatals you will go to learn from, you can literally, there are people in your surrounding that are into this. You can't tell me that you're doing a course, you are doing physics, you're doing chemistry, you're doing biochemistry, radiography, and then there's nobody in your local environment, your denomination, either church, society, your family, or somebody. There's somebody that is doing exactly working in that particular field. So you meet that person and say, okay, I'm in this course, so can I be coming to your office maybe on Fridays, Saturdays, to just learn? And now from there, you are interacting, you're trying to meet people, asking them questions, you are building relationships. So now it even helps you when you now get to maybe your second to your final year, when you are going for your IT. It helps you to even get an IT spot quicker than others. It helps you because people now come to you, oh, it's now IT, let me go. No. So as you've done this prior to this time, you now go, then that organization you're working with, now that's why I said your end goal comes in. Is it am I going there for the money? Is this the education I can give me now? You look at the people that are there, the vehicles they are driving, the kind of life they are living, because that will automatically be your situation. That will be your case. So, okay, does people have money? The people in this organization, are they people well to do? Are they struggling financially? Like people, if I'm going there to learn, oh, is when I put this in my state now or my local community now, if I put this organization among, if I rate them, rank them in a scale of 1 to 10, where do they rank among organizations that have produced the best and all that? And then you walk through that, and with time you see that you become more effective. That is where the application comes in. You become more effective than a lot of people who will come out from the same profession, come out from the same field than you. They will not be wondering, how is this guy doing so well? How is this guy? Just like somebody who is doing computer science, who knows, okay, I want to be so and so tomorrow. Now, there's a way you think, there's a way you act, there's a way you understand limitations that come with your course. You strategize, you have an end goal of how you want to use this course in the nearest future. And then you now, once you are done, you see that you become a better performer. So the knowledge you get, knowledge is good. Having that insight, being learned, we have told people, learning the process of acquiring knowledge. Acquiring that knowledge is good. Going to school is good. Learning, even outside your regular school, and people do all the social activities and all that, it's good. But now, you as a person, now understanding how well you can use this course, knowing when to use this course, knowing when to use this knowledge, helps you become a better person when it comes to application, better person in society, becoming successful. Application, the good use, the proper application brings life success. So that's all I can say for that. Thank you.
Wow. So thank you very much, 𝗥𝗲𝗏, right? So we've heard it all. If you're deep down in your heart, you want to know how you can utilize, the education that you've got, or maybe probably you're getting an education on something. It can be anything. You are learning, you're learning, you're relearning. So 𝗥𝗏𝗏 has pointed out that we need to know the limitations that are available or applicable to anything that we are being educated about, anything that we are learning, right? And this is where I would like to add to what you said, talking about limitations. There are limitations to everything. Just as there's advantage, there's also a disadvantage. But now, where the opportunity comes where there's a limitation, right? So you look at your course. Let's say, for instance, I'm a farmer, right? And there's a limitation around this occupation of mine, and that limitation is easy access, transportation, right? So now what I would do is I will now have to start thinking on solutions to address that limitation. That is how you've been able to build an opportunity for yourself, and now you be able to thrive. All right. And now before you do this, you have to apply what 𝗥𝗏𝗏 has said. He said we should have an end goal, which is similar to what knowing your purpose. So 𝗥𝗏𝗏, thank you so very much. To wrap it all up, for you to utilize the education that you've got, you need to know that there is limitation to every course out there that you're studying. There's a limitation to even the education in itself, and you need to find the opportunity in that limitation. You also need to know your purpose, know why you're doing this thing, why are you getting this education in this aspect that you choose to write, and with that you'll be able to conquer, with that you'll be able to live a successful life. So, okay, so moving forward, Sir Silas, I would like you to talk about people who do not have a formal education.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if we look at society today, we'll see that most people argue that, like, there's somebody in the comment section from our previous post that said education in Nigeria is scam. I like that person was able to share his opinion, because in all honesty, his points are valid, right? And he's saying this because obviously there's a businessman out there that has a lot of money, living well, and he's living a successful life, but he does not have a formal education. So for people like that are watching this video, what would you say to them? What is your advice to them?
Okay, now let me break this down. Like I said earlier, the end goal. What is your life's goal? What do you intend to achieve in the next 10, 20 years? I put out this political career, I put out this spiritual career, put out, okay, they want to be so and so in the next this. And now, understanding where you want to be or where God wants you to be in the nearest future helps you as a person know how to apply the knowledge you have. So going to the higher institution, or those who haven't gone through the school, or it could be as a result of maybe financial challenges, not having the privilege. A lot of people have strived, they wanted to go to school, but maybe they didn't have the parents who could afford the education they need. Somebody who've gone through maybe going to primary, secondary, but you can't afford that, you can't go to tertiary because of your family, parents don't have the money. And for somebody like that, and then you now, what do I want to do? Do I want to now? The problem first, understand the limitation you have. If I can't go to school now, how well can I be profitable to my society? Not going to school is not an execution that, if you don't go to school, you are a failure in life automatically. Not going to school does not automatically make you a failure in life.
Valid.
Because there are a lot of people who have gone to school and they have come out and they are still struggling in life. So going to school is not the yardstick for life success. Let's take note of that. Going to school is not the yardstick for life success. So you as a person, understand, okay, what is my limitation? Finances. I can't go to school. Now, what are you supposed to be working on? You're supposed to be building yourself, building your mind financially, building your capacity. There are a lot of ways you can do that. They have libraries which are very free. You can always bump into. You have the social media, which you can always get ideas on the kind of business you can do. You have your hands, you can do one or two things. You can venture into a lot, just like the social media we're talking about. You can venture into the media, you can venture into, you have things you can do. You can go to that welder in your neighborhood. I want to learn. So not because some people condemn them. I didn't go to school, that's why my life is like this. That's why, no, not going to school is not a yardstick. Is not going to school, rather, is not the yardstick for success. So you not having the privilege, maybe your parents didn't have the money to train you to the high institution and all that. That does not mean you are start feeling life. You can, I know my limitation is money now. How do I get money? That's where financial literacy comes in. You try to get your mind, what kind of business can I do? You meet with people. I like this Igbo system. There's this stuff the Igbo people do. They call you, they pick their brother from the village, they bring it to the city. Then you come and then you learn a craft, like you have for maybe 4-5 years. So after that period of 4-5 years you have learned, they now establish you. So there are a lot of ways you can actually, and you see those people they are not going to school and all that. Some of them after they are gone. So for somebody who doesn't have the privilege or the opportunity to go to school, you should not be worried. You can go after the money. You can venture into things that will give you the money, manual work, different things that will give you the money. Later on, you can now come back. It's never too late to learn. You can come back. After you have got the money, you can now come back. Because the problem, I see people, a lot of people don't have money. You finish secondary school, don't have money. This is them going after money, trying to get money. They now go and start suffering in the university. You see them go, you can't pay school fees. You see them go, a lot of problems. But that kind of person at that young age, you can venture into something that will become profitable in the next 4-5 years. If somebody finishes, now people go to school very early. Somebody finish school at 16, 17, 18. So if you 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you learn a skill. 23, you can apply for a school. Even while you're making the money, there are open universities now. You can do it from the comfort of your house. There are foreign programs that are available now online. You can do it from the comfort of your house. But if you say, okay, I'm too big to go to, maybe I've gotten the money now, you say, oh, I'm too big to go to school and all that. You can register in an open university, and then you can register in a foreign university, and then you're doing your program offline. You're doing it from the comfort of your house, and then you are comfortable with yourself. So not going to school is not it doesn't mean if you don't go to school. Many people even succeeded. You see people today doing very well in life, and then you see somebody who has even gone to school struggling. So, like you said earlier, or like your question implied, I will disagree. Not going to school or going to school is not the yardstick of success. So if you are not opportunity to go to school, find something else. Find something you can do. The Bible said whatsoever thy hand findeth do it well. So you might not have the opportunity to go to school, but in this other area, there are things you can do. You won't tell me that God has not blessed us with a gift. We have the gift. If it's music, you are blessed to do it well. You are blessed to do. You see people cleaning. People make money from it. You clean and you tax people for it, and they pay you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I actually do understand your point, right? And I get from what he's saying, and just like what I asked, people who do not also go to school can achieve success. We have already established in our premier session that education is not confined to the four walls of a school, right? And he has just said that going to school is not a yardstick to measure success or how successful you become in future. And I would like to say this goes far into seeing how they view success. How do you view success as an individual? Are you focused about the money? Like he talked about money. Somebody walked up to me and was like, oh, I just finished school and what next am I supposed to do? And I gave my humble opinion as somebody who has gone through university, and you said the truth, right? Instead of going into the university to suffer, why don't you go and seek ways to make money and to from there you'll be able to think about your life in a different perspective. And you know that the daily interaction with those people that you'll be working with is a process of education in itself, right? Exactly. Because they are learning in the process. So we've been able to talk about learning extensively as it pertains to education, but I don't want people to live with a misconception that education is just about learning. And we have cases where there are people who, because they've learned a particular thing. Let me use a child, for instance. A 2-year-old child will come home and be like, oh, mommy, my teacher told me that this is where you place a cup. And because the mom is not the teacher, and the mom is telling the child to take the cup from this particular place to another place, the child refuses. So the child becomes adamant just because he or she has learned something from school. So I want you to expatiate on that and enlighten us, because there's room to unlearn and there's room to relearn. So now, what do you think people who are adamant to a particular concept they've imbibed over time, how should they position themselves to revolve even as the world is changing?
Okay. Now, people who have a particular ideology about life, changing their narrative, changing the way they see life is one of the most complex things to do. Someone who's born with this ideology, like you said, the child who over time through continuous learning in school have been able to build this school of thought about a particular thing, and then that child now reacts either positively or negatively depending on what he has been taught to what has happened based on what he has been taught or what he learned over the years. And bringing that, if a child can be that rigid with changing what they know, what they have, and bring that to how much more an adult who have this school of thought, this misconception about life, application of knowledge and all that. It's very difficult, I won't lie. It's something that I think achieving is, the chances of achieving that is, we say 5% out of 100. The possibility of changing somebody's mind, someone who has known how to do this particular thing this particular way. Look at the people who kill for religion. who kill for religion, they have this school of thought, this ideology that theirs is the best. And they are not open enough. The way the people, the world has been shaped. We are born into the world, and then they are born into a family that our parents have this concept of how they believe their child should be raised, a particular kind of education. But you look at some families that are you look at this family, the children, they are medically inclined. All the parents. I've seen families, the parents say, okay, I want all my children to be medical doctors. I've seen families say, oh, I want my children to be billionaires. I've seen people that say, okay, they want their children to be sportsmen and all that. And then you see that child coming into life and then applying for that particular course over the years and not getting it. And that time wasted applying for that course, that child can maybe venture into another course, apply for another course, get admission, and then maybe come back to still try out this other. But because of that ideology, that school of thought, that it's a must. I must actually. You see people. Okay, I've seen somebody. Let me use this. I've seen somebody, a child, or not even a child, a young person, and this guy had this idea. Okay, I want to be footballer. I want to play football and all that. Started up the process, trained and all that. And as time went on, it was not working for him. He was good at it. He was a very good performer. He could play well and all that. He was someone everybody at back then were very excited to watch and all that. But saying he was not getting, there was no deals coming. He didn't have a connection to go outside, overseas, get a European, Spanish club and all that. And then he was finding it hard. And then you come to tell him, bro, this is not working. Can you try this other thing? Can you do this other thing? Yeah, it was so difficult. He had to stay in it. He did it till around 30 something. Then I was still in secondary. He did it till I left secondary school. He was still trying. He would travel to Owerri, travel to Abuja, Lagos, for match and all that. He would contribute and all that. Do the little work, small money he gathered. He has used it to travel to Owerri to go and see how he can get signed up and all that and all that. And at the end of the day, he became fruit. I don't know how his life panned out today, but that's just an instance of how rigid people get when they have gone through the process of learning a particular thing over the years. So I won't say there's anything we can do. There's nothing proven right now that can be done. It takes a special grace of God to change somebody's mindset from a particular thing. Somebody who has gone through this thing for years, childhood, the whole of their career, they have been learning this thing is bad, this thing is bad, this thing is bad, and then you now come. So the only way, it takes God's grace and then that person willingness to get enlightened, to look at this other thing and try to understand. Because if you don't understand something, you criticize it. Now it takes the person to understand, and sometimes to experience helps. Experience the best teacher, like we all know. So sometimes experience help people to shed off some ideas. By the time they've tried, and it's not working. That experience now makes them go, now, okay, let me try what this other guy said. And maybe that there is proof now that this other person who was telling you, try this other thing, abandon this one, do this other thing, now is doing well. So now, okay, since getting late to things are not working, they now have a venture in this. So I think God first, to change somebody's mentality, ideology, I think the person is God. It's going to experience, life teaches. So as we go through life, we learn. And then if life can't teach you and God can't change a person's heart, then I think there's nothing anyone can do.
All right, so we've come to the end of today's session, and I'd like you to know that we've talked about education and how we can apply education to empower ourselves in today's society. And of course, we reiterated that education is not only concerned with learning. In education, you unlearn, and in education, you relearn. So it was nice sharing this conversation with you, Sir Silas, and we hope to see you in our next episode, same time and here on this channel.
Thank you very much.